click on what committees he's on. It's like on 8 committees. So not just because he chirped calendars, he's on every committee. And I asked him one time, John, how do you do it? Why do you do that?
They can't see you.
Oh, you want me to put a... Oh, I'm sorry. I'm used to speaking in smaller rooms. And Chairman Hunter told me that he's on so many committees so he can keep an eye on everybody. And it is an honor to be here before you. I have a unique role, not only in the legislature, but I would say in our party. I'm the only member in the legislature in the entire country, with the exception of the state of Florida, that is Hispanic, that represents a majority Hispanic district as a Republican. And I grew up in that region, in South Texas. I grew up in Jim Wells County, I live in Clayburgh County, represent B County and San Patricio County as well. A lot of folks said that I wouldn't be able to win that district in November. That Jim Wells County, how many here have heard of Box 13? LBJ, that's Jim Wells County, Box 13. No Republican had ever won Jim Wells County. In fact, this last November, we won that county with 58% of the vote. It shows that people are increasingly voting the person. And with certain communities, especially in South Texas, you have to have a different approach to getting them to vote the person. I knocked on a lot of doors, including Democrats, and I would start to tell them about what I stood for. They immediately would say, I support you. And then at some point, they would either see Republican on my push card, or they would hear me tell them, don't forget to mark my name, I'm a Republican on the ballot. Oh, wait a minute, what? The reason I would do that is because I wanted to show them what we stand for, get their commitment. And then when they realize, you know what, I'm still going to vote for this guy. I didn't realize the Democratic Party stood for the opposite of what he just told me. And so our job is to do more outreach, to let people know exactly what the Democratic Party is. It's not the party of LBJ, like they once to this day, or JFK, on economic policies, on many policies, foreign policy. President Kennedy was one of the most conservative presidents we've ever had. And so our job is to educate the public about that. And so I proudly commit the rest of my life to doing that. And I'm doing it 4 counties at a time in my district. If there's ever an area in your district, in your precincts, where you want me to speak to a group, if I can go, I'll go. If not, I'd love to do like a phone conference or a Skype. I especially when I tell folks, I'm on the policy committee for the party in our caucus. And I told them yesterday, the members, they're all state representatives. We get a spreadsheet of all the bills, and we basically vote. Are we going to support them as a caucus, or oppose, or be neutral as a caucus? And I told them, if you know anyone that's going to have an amendment on the floor, that's going to go to the back microphone to ask questions on a bill, on any issue that deals with minorities, really with minorities, I want to help craft the message, because the liberals are doing everything they can to seize one word we say and paint us as racist. And that's why I think it's so ironic that I'm chairman of redistricting, because they're alleging that the state has drawn maps that discriminated based on race. Every session of the legislature that draws maps in every part of the country draws them in favor of the party in power. Party, not race. There have been cases where the gerrymandering, which came from one of the southern states. But in the legislature in 11 and last session, when we adopted the court maps, the maps were drawn on the party in power getting Republicans elected. And so they asked me, the Department of Justice called me as one of their, they deposed me, essentially. And they asked me, in 2011, they asked me, did you ever hear a member talk about race in terms of drawing the lines? Did you ever? I said, no. It was always Republican or Democrat. In fact, today, Congressman Castro, Congressman Pete Gallego were talking to me about drawing their own congressional districts to get themselves to Congress. And the guy from the DOJ looked at me, we'll move on. That's just what the legislators do. And so my role is to bring common sense to stop the race baiting that's going on. One of the things that hurts me the most is seeing our society being divided by our president, by the Attorney General, at the DOJ on them. It's incredible how there are people that I have met with in their homes when I be block walking that have told me, I support legal immigration, but because I don't support illegal immigration, they call me a racist. That's such a horrible word to call someone just because you disagree on a specific policy. Racism is documented in our videos on YouTube. You can see when Bull O'Connor had fire hoses. To call someone that because they want to secure the border is horrible. And so as someone who was born in Mexico, whose family came here legally, who respects the laws of this country, many of my family members are still waiting for permanent residency, 12 years. They've waited. They could have easily taken the easy way, and they haven't, because they know that every nation has laws to respect. And so I'm just honored to be given the opportunity to say these things, to be able to fight for the future of our party as well. And anything I can ever do to help in your individual precincts, let me know. I'm here as one of your weapons. Please consider me as one of your sources, resources. And I want to thank y'all for everything y'all do to keep Texas red. I'm going to do everything I can to continue that. Hopefully 20, 30 years from now, Texas will still be red. And we'll continue to every session, chip away at that default, de facto Democrat vote. Because I truly believe that every especially for today with President Obama, who's helping us as a party, I believe, there are more and more minorities voting Republican. Even if it's just one at a time. They're no longer voting the straight ticket. They're actually going down and voting for one person family. Well, thank you so much for your time.